We're kind of in the middle of some big plot stuff right now, so I think it's probably best if we just go sort of straight back into it. Okay. Yeah. It'll take some time to completely repair your starship. I suggest you get some rest in the interim. Okay. Not much. There's not much I can really do, so I'm stuck here in space.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Dolim just needs a break every now and again.
I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying. But we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
They can still try.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more. That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Oh.
Did you just... Never mind.
Accepted.
Thank you, Kisara.
Nicknaming is a sign of affection.
I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all,
Just
don't
make
you think
babies.
that brings down the barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
I think they should also kiss. Just saying.
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Are you two also having a moment?
Well,
If everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Cute.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
The Great Spirit is
Well,
the friends
like
we
you
made
said,
along the way.
Unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
Yeah, maybe.
Hefric 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become. So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah,
Besties.
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
huh?
Never mind. Nothing. Just forget about it.
Huh?
Okay, dumbass.
What were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember
Come
saying
on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Cute. I'm surprised by the amount of romance in this game compared to the other Tales games I played, but it's
You
not
sure
like
you don't want to get some rest?
annoying amount of romance at least.
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How How are you doing, Shion?
Like, the pairings are really well developed.
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do. Like Hevricht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the blazing sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
Huh?
It's true the blazing sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything that
Listen,
we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike.
Shion, you don't have to sacrifice yourself, hopefully.
We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
Oh.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shion,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Cute.
Yeah.
Please, you two gotta get married at the end of this. please. Your maiden sovereign outfits already look like winning regalia.
Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I
They can see everything.
I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrect 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
Also, there's
I
a
have unlocked all functions on your starship.
sub typo.
You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
The core of the Big
We gotta
Apple.
go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
I have one last question.
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life
You're old as
expectancy.
fuck, Alphen.
Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable.
Still happened, though.
Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Oop.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
But what if I want to do side quests first? Man. I'm glad there's an atmosphere here. Oh god. Is that just, yeah.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't
It's...
see even a trace of astral energy.
I think that's just,
This world
hollowed
is
bodies.
dead.
Then this must be the hollowing.
Yep.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
I'm surprised
So
it's...
arresting. This world of doom.
But the
Back
planet
in its
itself is
day,
still, like, you know,
Dana was
hasn't, like,
probably
imploded
just
or
as
anything.
vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
You're saying if we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive. It looks
Stakes
like
are
we can climb
high.
down from there.
Okay.
Let's take a look.
Oh. Destroyed remnants. Rena.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet it's a dead world?
I won't let Dana suffer the same fate. Ever.
Special owls seem to appear throughout Dana. How do I know that? And also, what the heck do you mean by that? Okay. Discover all the owls. Okay, Rena, World of Death.
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Okay, the challenge of a lifetime.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
We might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Alright. Bridging the divides.
Question for you. let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so much. My only worry is if those changes turn out to be merely skin deep.
What do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renin rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renins, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
I do have a teleport here at least, so maybe I should go ahead and back down to Dana. There is side quest around. Okay. Let me stay at a campsite real quick, because I should have more camping skits at this point.
Why are you staring at me?
I could ask the same thing.
So this is how the Sovereign and Maiden are supposed to look. You two go great together.
Law, come stand between us.
Oh, sure. You want me to put something white on as well?
Of course she doesn't.
Take a closer look, Shion. It's a miracle.
What are you talking about?
This outfit, it's already got blue accents on it.
So I see.
Okay, growing up.
Hey, Law. Been training?
Yeah, I guess I got a little carried away. You think this is bad, you should see the state of my underwear.
Yeah. A word of advice. You might want to refrain from mentioning that stuff around girls. Ones without a military history especially.
Man, can you imagine Rinwell's face? She'd have a nervous breakdown.
I meant in general, but you sure mention her a lot, you know.
Huh? Oh, you know, she's always there, even when you least expect it. Springs to mind easily.
Either that, or maybe some part of you is subconsciously always wishing she was there.
May the trials and tribulations of young romance never change.
Bella's got a crush.
Like I'd be interested in that know-it-all tomboy. I'm more about mature women. Someone more like Kisara.
You know, I used to be a tomboy too when I was Rinwell's age.
Look, it's not tomboys I have anything against. But come on, you've got to admit she can be a lot to handle.
Hey, I miss anything? What's all the fuss about?
Rinwell.
Thunderblade!
Ah! What the hell was that for?
A little birdie told me you were speaking about me behind my back.
Good old snitching. Dang it.
From the looks of it, I'd say you've got yourself a rival.
It wouldn't be called the Spring of Youth without a little storm every now and then.
Alright, affection in its many forms.
Hey, Shion. How are you and Alphen getting on these days?
That's a little out of the blue. Why do you ask?
Sorry, it's just... I don't know, I'm just curious, I guess. I mean, a lot's changed now he's got his senses back and all.
I suppose you're right. Well, to tell you the truth, if he'd been the way he is now back when I'd first met him, I probably wouldn't have gotten this involved. But then, if we hadn't met like we did, then I never would have experienced these feelings, so... I guess it's complicated.
I can imagine. I know it's not the same thing, but I know what it feels like to have someone you love who's out of reach.
Because of Miguel.
Alphen's still alive. It's not too late, you know. And after all, who can say what the future holds? I think if I were you, I'd take things as they come for now.
Besides, touch isn't everything. I've never touched you, Shion, but that doesn't stop you from knowing that I care about you, right?
That's true. But I do remember back when we first met, you made it plenty clear you weren't my biggest fan.
But that was a long time ago. There were lots of things I didn't understand back then. Not that that's the point.
Don't worry, I'm only teasing. I know what you mean. Thank you. And you're right. There are ways to convey your feelings besides just touching.
I'll say, cooking immediately springs to mind. And if it's someone's favorite dish, all the better. If there's something on your mind that you want to tell him, why not try appealing directly to his stomach?
Make him some really
You might
spicy
just
curry.
have a point. I'll give it a shot.
Uh-oh. If it's Alvin's palate you're appealing to, that doesn't bode well for the rest of us.
Well, friendship is about being supportive. Sometimes we just have to do our best and take one for the team, right?
Alright. Keep it with Algonquil. There's gonna be a lot of these.
Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renins inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect the dots, Law!
Okay, let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renins to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hoodle.
What did I do?
Just wants to share her
now you
interesting
wanna
discovery.
listen. Keep packing, Hoodle!
Ow! Seriously, what the hell?
Those two are so Sindure. Okay, let's see if I don't think I missed anything at least. Okay, we're good. Do Dolim next, since he's in my party.
Dolim, care if I hang out for a while?
Would you perchance be interested in going on a walk together?
Why? You're not on guard duty for another few hours.
Which is why I want to walk. To hear the music in these parts.
Music? Where are you going to find musicians all the way out here?
The music of nature.
There's more to music than what people play. It's in the grass, fluttering in the wind, the leaves in the trees, and the songs of birds and insects. Once you open your ears, you'll find that music is truly everywhere in this world.
What sounds like music depends on who's listening, huh? It's an interesting idea, but I think it might be a little too difficult for me. Speaking of music, whatever happened to your instruments? You used to be a musician, didn't you?
His violin is like in a
Those are
case
well
inside
out
the
of my reach
castle.
At this point. That aside, I don't feel that I yet have the right to play any of them again. You could say that it is in part my way of atoning for that which I have failed to do over the years.
Meaning that you haven't completely given up on making things right.
Do you think me a fool stuck in the past?
Not at all. In fact, far from it. You sound like you're still holding out hope for a brighter future. Picture yourself being able to play your music again. Doesn't that motivate you to keep going even when things get tough?
I see what you mean. I didn't realize that drive still lingered within me. The darkness in one's heart is sure to manifest in their music. However, I promise you that one day, when that darkness has finally lifted, I shall let you hear me perform.
Well, now that you've said it, you're gonna have to follow through. I look forward to hearing you play.
Now
Here,
closer to
let me
Dolim.
help you relax and rest easy with a little melody.
I don't think. Yeah, I guess that's not his last bonding skit then.
Once we finish eating, we should get going.
Surprising. Okay. A creepy Carly tangent.
Even after staying here, we never truly got to the bottom of what makes this realm's citizens tick.
Renan and Danon are meaningless distinctions here. To have one's own mind is strictly forbidden. All that matters is blind obedience.
That might be the case now, but it can't always have been like that. There must have been something more.
Once, maybe. Question is that something still salvageable?
If it's not, we'll just have to make something new. No, not we. They've had enough foisted on them as it is.
You're right. It's time the people here had the chance to forge their own path. That's not to say it'll be easy, but it will be worthwhile.
These things take time to...
What?
What the? An ambush?
Are we being shot?
Sorry.
Oh.
There was a huge flying bug and I sort of shot without thinking.
A bug? You mean like a Zoogle?
Something tells me she would have shot it, whether it was a Zoogle or not.
This realm is teeming with humid forests. It's only natural insects would feel more at home here than Menancia. In fact, I seem to recall reading somewhere that bugs around these parts lay their eggs in human food to ensure healthy incubation.
Sounds like they're tougher than they look.
What about you, Alphen? Bugs don't creep you out?
I wouldn't say I was their #1 fan. Mind you, if times get desperate enough, I've been known to eat them.
I could
Insects
never.
is a culinary option, you say? What kind of seasoning are we talking?
Dohalim, I don't think he was talking about cooking them.
Hey, a lizard!
Lizards are fine. Constant vigilance.
I never thought about this until now, Alphen, but doesn't it get hot wearing that armor all the time? You feel heat and cold again, don't you?
Admittedly, yeah, it can get pretty toasty in this thing.
Is it hard when your back starts to itch?
Oh, you bet.
He's not wearing his full
Plus,
armor
my
anymore,
shoulders get
so.
stiff wearing it, even if it's not all that heavy.
Kisara looks like she manages all right with her armor.
Armor takes a strong body and a stout heart.
Spoken like a true guardsman. Not that I really get what you mean.
The more I think about it, the more I realize what a pain it must be. Like, what do you do when you need to take a leak?
Ew!
That part can be a bit of a pain, yeah. More things to take off.
That sucks, man. Wouldn't it be easier if you just walked around outside of your armor most of the time instead?
You never know when the enemy might attack. As tempting as it might be to take it off, it's not worth getting killed over.
So basically, you're screwed if you ever get attacked while taking a dump. Right, Rinwell?
Are you doing this on purpose?
Alright, thinning the herd. Getting a lot of these.
Guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zoogles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Maybe you just need to, like, spay them.
Exterminate Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zoogles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zoogles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zoogles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Domesticate
Aside from the
them.
strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zoogles aren't so different after all.
Is the bird have one of those cosmetics you can put on every character? Yes. 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 I got it and I immediately put it on everybody. Alright.
Tori.
Oh, is this the guy who's about to get married? My lord, you've received a notice from Noshio. It says the wedding is to be held at Saxleo Temple. Oh, at last, it seems the big wedding is upon us. I can ill think of a happier occasion than this. Yeah, I'm excited for them. Their future. Sure.
Saxleo Temple. Isn't that where Shion was being held?
Shh. Wasn't it beautiful? I can't wait for this.
Trauma. Poor Shion. Okay. Or Dolim, thank you for coming. Dolim, you're here. Great. Let's get right to business. Everyone is waiting for you to speak. Hi, this is quite the gathering you have all assembled. All the more reason to make sure I don't disappoint. Ahem. Oh, and there we are in the front 2 rows. Thank you all for coming. Today I wish to forego the usual formalities and ask for your blessings on this most auspicious day. I first met Sir Noshio and his soon-to-be wife Kagari when...
Just great.
This is going to take a while. Now then, toast to the living couple's eternal happiness, as well as peace and prosperity between Dana and Rena.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers!
Alright, time for the big bouquet toss. You know, Shion, I heard that if you catch a bouquet at the wedding, or if you can't catch a bouquet at the wedding, you'll always be single and alone. That's not how it works, but...
What?
Wait, really? Yep. Oh, yay! Aw,
Nice try, you two.
nice
Better
try
luck
it.
next time.
Oh,
Never. Why?
Wait, something's wrong.
I couldn't catch it. I'll always be alone. How could I? Oh, please. I'm so lonely.
Oh no. This is just like what happened before. Alphen!
give her a hug.
I'm alone. I'm all alone.
What can I do to get her to snap out of it? There aren't any thorns this time.
Get down on one knee right now.
I've got it!
Alphen?
Shion, you're not alone. You've got all of us. And it's not just one bouquet either. There's also this one from me. So please, don't give up.
Okay, so, the voice acting doesn't seem to be, matching the subtitles, but okay.
We'll fight this together. Shion!
You dummy! That's not what I was upset about. How many times do I need to tell you not to blindly rush into things?
That said, it does make me feel better. Even if your bouquet is just a weapon named after one.
Is that actually a weapon I'm about to get?
I'm just glad I could help. And I made another one to go with it, so it wouldn't be lonely either.
You never cease to amaze me, Alphen. Seriously.
Oh, Curtis Bouquet. A gun model after a flower bouquet. Despite the romantic sounding name, at the end of the day, it's still a gun and should be treated as such. And a wedding cake cutter. A ceremonial blade used to cut into large cakes at celebrations. Only those who have actually intended to come back alive from battle get to use it. Oh, silver suit of armor. Cool. Doling. Transcendent matchmaker. Cool. I want to look at those weapons, actually.
Feeling better now, Shion?
I'm sorry I lost my cool like that.
Don't worry. It's not like I have any room for criticism.
Being a grown-up isn't easy, is it?
Alright. It's better than the fancy sword that he got from the Spirit of Dana. And so was the gun. Okay. Cute. Oh, I do think I remember reading something that I should go to a seashore. after I unlock Rena. Oh, there you go.
Oh?
Hey, what's this bottle?
Hmm.
You'll get sick if you drink out of random bottles you pick up. I'm not drinking from it. There's something inside though. A letter? What does it say? Ship sank. Drifted to this island. No way off. Send help. Seems like they were in a shipwreck sent this letter out to sea in hopes of being found. My gosh, we gotta rescue them. There's a map here. It's a rough sketch, but it's got the location of the island. Let's take a boat there. There you go. Beyond the grave.
I wonder what we'll find out there this time.
Most likely Zoogles, I would reckon.
I mean, other than them.
Wait. Any intriguing map views you got there? Okay. We'll see where whatever. There is a fishing spot here. Okay.
I think Hoodle senses something.
And an apple.
Isn't that Almadria's?
So
Oh.
this is where her ship drifted.
Then the one who wrote the letter is...
Alive, but badly wounded. I doubt many of the others have survived.
Let's survey the area.
Okay.
This is such a beautiful island.
Yet it's just as full of Zoogles as everywhere else on Dana.
The fact there appears suggests people must have come here in the past, though.
The reason they're gone is simple. The Renans put all of the Danans to work on the crown contest after they conquered the planet.
So there would have been nobody left to enjoy the view here after the Great Conquest. Once this whole thing is over, we'll have to all come back here together so we can appreciate it.
Oh.
Did I say something weird?
No. I was just impressed you came up with such a good idea for once.
Alright, the joys of eating.
I love how much amazing food we get to eat even when we're out on the road.
Me too. Especially compared to what I used to have when I was still a slave. This is paradise.
It's amazing what good food can do to keep your hopes up. Nagal used to say all the time that the power of food is subtle, yet profound.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? For whatever reason, I find I don't worry nearly as much when I've got a full stomach helping me out.
That's why you shouldn't be such a picky eater.
Huh?
Eat your fucking
He's
veggies,
right.
Law.
You always leave food that you don't like on your plate when you're done.
Come on, what's the big deal?
Back in the day, I couldn't think about leaving any food. It was such a waste not to eat at all. You needed every last scrap of energy.
Exactly. Even when my brother and I didn't have much to eat, we all did what we could to make it taste good and enjoy what we had.
That definitely explains a lot about why you cook the way you do, Kisara.
Dohalim, I bet you don't know what any of that's like. You must be used to food being handed to you on a silver platter.
Sometimes it was gold.
You didn't shy away from that at all.
Although, there was one experience that does come to mind.
Oh?
When I first learned that the food I ate originally came from animals and fish, I was rather taken aback.
You just ate whatever was in front of you without even thinking about it?
That's a silver-spooned elite for you.
Seal's taste testing.
Your cooking has really improved, Shion.
It's because of you that I understand what makes it so fun. I'm glad everyone seems to enjoy what I make too.
I've noticed a disturbing trend that after it's your turn to cook, our ingredients tend to run really low. What's up with that?
That is a good point, Law. There's a weird difference between the amount of ingredients she prepares and how much food actually gets served. Curious. Very curious indeed.
I don't know. Isn't it pretty normal for veggies to shrink a little when you fry them up?
Or maybe she eats all the bad batches herself so we won't notice.
Come on, I wouldn't do anything like that.
Then how would you explain the difference?
Ahem. I have a theory that I wish to propose.
What is it?
As we all know, Shion here can have quite the appetite. I imagine she often taste tests her own food as she prepares it. By my eye, it would appear that her footprints are leaving deeper impressions
You
as
can't
of
say
late.
that about a lady.
Far be it from me to level such an accusation, but the facts lead me to conclude that
She's been snacking while she cooks.
And yet, she still looks so slender in her clothing.
Yeah, I'm kind of envious, actually.
Wait a sec, are you guys trying to say she's...
I'm what?
Nothing?
Nothing.
Alright, revealing cooking. I'm getting a lot of cooking skits, okay.
Hey, Alphen, why do you like spicy food so much anyway?
You know, I haven't thought about that before. Maybe because when I couldn't feel pain, it gave me that kick I was craving.
But now that you can feel pain again, wouldn't your tastes have changed?
Did you like spicy food when you were younger?
Not as much as I do now. At some point, it just became something almost like an addiction, I guess.
I can most certainly relate. Once you've had your fill of ordinary food, you cannot help but seek out more unusual fare.
I don't think that's got anything to do with Alphen's tastes. Although I won't deny that you definitely have a thing for exotic food. The stranger the better.
I just wish I could have gotten you into sweets like me, Alphen.
I like food that's dense and keeps you feeling full myself. It helps you last longer when you're on the move.
We all know you're a quantity over quality kind of...
What was that?
Nothing. I lost my train of thought.
You know, I've also noticed Shion's not really into the same kind of food most Renins are. Could be it's got something to do with the way she grew up.
That's so me! Even when I was little, I was all about food that gives me strength. All meat, all the time!
And I guess Kisara is so good at cooking fish because she can catch them herself.
I'm only good with fish because it used to be the easiest thing to get. When you work with something long enough, it comes naturally to you.
I like fish just fine, but what I really like about your cooking is how it tastes homemade. It reminds me of what my mom used to make.
Really? You know, I used to cook a lot of meals for younger kids, and they said the same thing.
When you get down to it, I guess the things a person cooks and the foods they like say a lot about the way they've lived.
Oh. Oh, I can still get another one already. Really? Hasn't been an hour yet, though. Okay, let me get Dolim's last one then.
Care if I hang out for a while? You want some?
Well, I'll be. I'm not accustomed to such offers, but I'll gladly partake. It's quiet tonight, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think there are even any Zoogles lurking around for once. Is this one of those times where people would start playing music?
My, have our talks sparked an interest in such arts?
I wouldn't go that far. But from what I've seen, there's a lot more to life than just swinging swords and getting into fights all the time.
You wouldn't have gone without that knowledge for so long, had we Renins not pillaged your planet. Words cannot express how sorry I feel.
300 years of bad blood is too much to lay on one person's feet. That's something a man I admired once said.
I appreciate the sentiment.
Dolim, I wish you
pray
could have
that
met
once all of this
Sapphire.
fighting is over, you'll be able to finally find a purpose for yourself, other than simply fighting.
You know, it's strange. I haven't given much thought about what I'm actually going to do with my life once our quest is all over.
You're gonna marry Shion and then have a very domestic lifestyle.
Sword around and hitting things.
Then perhaps it's time for you to begin to contemplate what else you wish to do in life.
Aside from fighting... I guess you've got things like your music and antique collecting to look forward to after all.
Well, I'm sure you have other interests as well. From what I can tell, you seem to be rather interested in weaponry and Renin machinery, yes?
I'm only interested in weapons when it comes to how easy they are to use. And as for technology, I don't know a damn thing about it.
Maybe he can be a
If you have the
craftsman.
interest, you can always learn. Being able to understand and create technology that supports and improves lives is always valuable.
I'm not sure I'm cut out for studying. You're right, there's stuff I wouldn't mind knowing more about, but...
That was merely a hypothetical example. My point is that sometimes you can find the answer in the things that you like and already do.
Go to a trade
Yeah,
school,
I hear
Alvin.
you. Hey, I know. If we're talking about things I like, what if I tried opening a spicy food restaurant?
Not bad. Although your customer base may be limited.
I feel bad making you my life coach when I originally just wanted to drink together.
Think nothing of it. It is the least I owe you. My life wouldn't be what it is today had you and your friends not come to Vicent. In fact, I think I may owe you all more than I could ever hope to. Alvin?
That was fast. Oh, dual aim drinking buddy. KO prevention, nice. Puckle severance, okay.
Moving?
Rinwell, mind if we chat a little?
I guess we'll see the animation with Rinwell real quick.
Hoodles really warmed up to you.
It looks like a hacky sack. Oh, wait, there's actually a person here.
It's you.
Oh, this motherfucker.
I figured I'd find you here, Kelzelik.
You knew he'd be here?
The handwriting on the note was all too familiar to me.
Did you come all the way out here to mock me, or have you changed your mind about putting me to death?
What if I had?
You have no right. You who abandoned your lordly duties and chose to fraternize with embeddeds of all people! And for what? How could someone as powerful as yourself turn your back upon the crown contest?
Not this again.
I ran from this once, but I must face it now. The crown contest was never for me. I apologize for dragging you along, but I do not regret my choice in the slightest. Listen to me, Kelzelik. People change. They can change given time, and regardless of their race. I know you're a capable man. You could do so much for others if you were so inclined.
He's not going to, I just feel it.
Me? Impossible. It's too late for me. Death. Death closes in on me wherever I go.
What?
Ow.
That's Almatrius.
Ah, shit. Best balls, I'm fighting you again.
Is she alive too?
It's death!
Level 59, I'm not ready for this.
Does this thing become even more ruthless?
There's nothing more fearsome than a wounded beast.
Oh god, nope, I'm dead.
Well, I'm not leaving it to its own devices.
Sorry.
I'll have to come back to this one.